might be alive.
Okay. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Da, 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 da.
Okay, that works. Alright, start talking a little bit, Sarah.
You guys hear me? I'm still, I'm sitting here immersed in almost every sunscreen I own, which takes up the entire table. And it takes about 8 minutes to set them all upright, which is why I'm like 2 minutes late. You guys can hear me? Woohoo! You made it to a live stream. I love it. Oh, we got London in the house. Anybody, where are you guys all from? I'm from Minnesota. You betcha. What? Ooh? Ooh, what?
Nothing, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
It's just really loud.
Oh, I don't want to speak that loud.
No, you're fine. Let me turn it down.
Oh, well, I'm always loud. We got London in the house. Anybody else? Nobody wants to say where they're from? Come on, I admit I'm from Minnesota. Sometimes it's a bit humbling. Look, I even printed in color for today. That was a big investment, printing in color. That stuff is not cheap. And it's really annoying when the thing continues to remind you that your blue ink is low. Anytime you want to print something.
I can't even see all your stuff.
I know. That's okay, though.
I just zoomed out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sitting here. I don't know how many there are, but before I rebox them up, or not rebag all my sunscreens, I'm going to go through and check out the date on every single one and then pass it down to people that will use them. So we got Reykjavik, Michigan, Trinidad, wow, South Africa, France, Portugal, Argentina, wow. I like this. With all those skincare products Sarah's using, by the time she's 80, she'll look 40. Which is bad for the cameraman's pockets. You know what I will say? The camera, it does add 10 pounds, but it also adds like 10 years. So keep that in mind. In real life, I look way younger. I look like I'm like 10. Or not. I don't know. Anyway, Michigan, Trinidad. Wow. It's like hot here today. I don't know. I think when we reach 32,000 subscribers, we should get central air. Because right now, our house is so old, we got like the old window units. They're just not that effective. I'm sorry. I don't know. We're close to 32,000. I know, but once we turn them on, I'm still going to be hot. And so will Ike. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. And I've got you can't really say too much right now, because...
I'm not agreeing to that.
Okay. Why do you sound Canadian? My mom was not from Canada. No. I don't know. I just have like the most strong Minnesota accent ever. I don't know. And anytime I try and talk with another accent, it just never goes well. It just doesn't. And I'm so bad at understanding accents too, which is perfect why everything's typed. So I got so many color charts. Okay. And then we got a couple little things cameraman's going to put up on the screen in a minute.
Give me a minute.
But one of them is a list of sunscreen filters and all their names and what they filter out, which is helpful, although just take it with a grain of salt. Every resource has a slight angle to them. And they're not necessarily 100% right about everything. It's almost impossible for anyone to be 100% right about anything. I used to be 100% right, but then you guys notice when I'm wrong. So I'm almost perfect, but not quite. So let's see. Okay. So I think I'm just going to start out with a little bit of a discussion on what SPF is. SPF is defined as the minimal erythermal dose, MED, of protected skin divided by the MED of unprotected skin for a given amount of time. So SPF equals the protected divided by the unprotected. In order to determine SPF, a lab must take at least 10 human subjects and apply this sunscreen at 2 milligrams per centimeter and expose them to artificial sunlight for various amounts of time and wait until their skin gets red. That's how they determine SPF. So basically, minimally 1 lab and 10 positive results equal the determination of SPF, because SPF is essentially a ratio of the time it takes for protected skin to turn red compared to unprotected skin. The ability of sunscreen to filter UV rays levels off at around SPF of 30. So that is not yet. Or you can put up one of them.
Whenever.
Okay. So this little chart shows the SPF and the amount of filters, UVB rays it filters out. So you see SPF of 5 does do a pretty good job with 75% of the UVB rays. However, if you're very fair, that's not going to last you very long. SPF 10 does 90%. And then the further up the SPF goes, the less additional rays it filters out. So if you've got an SPF of 100, that one still only filters out 99%, not all of them. So that's why it's important to be sure to apply a good SPF level. 30 is what I like to use at least, which does 97%. So when you jump from 30 to 100, you only get a couple extra rays filtered out. And I think that's why a lot of countries now are basically capping the SPF at 50, or you'll see 50 plus, which means usually it's SPF of 60, but they just don't want to encourage people, if they're wearing like an SPF of 100, to think they're 100% okay to go out and burn. So I think that's probably it. You'll notice it on a lot of, these aren't all European sunscreens, but here we go. Well, that one just says 50 SPF. Here we go. Ultra Sun SPF 50 plus. So that probably means 60 and you're pretty darn good. So 50 is about most of the ones you see, unless the US still lets them do whatever they want. Like 100, you've got it out there on some of the Neutrogena ones. So anyway, I think that's an interesting chart that just demonstrates how much you're filtering out. And then the further up you go, you don't get much additional protection. But if you are very prone to hyperpigmentation or skin cancer in your family, might as well go as high as you can get and just get those extra rays out, because that might make a huge difference. You don't really know. So that is SPF.
You can tell them I posted those links in the chat too.
Oh yeah, there's a link. The lab muffin one I'll talk about in a moment. So what SPF doesn't cover, it's SPF only refers to UVB rays. That's it. Doesn't refer to UVA rays at all. And there's kind of new terminology which has started recently in the last couple decades, where you've gotten broad spectrum. Here we go. Broad spectrum. That is, and then you also have the PA rankings, which tells you about how it's protected against UVA rays, which are the more aging rays. UVB rays is how much you burn, which probably when I went to the beach when I was like little, I wouldn't get burnt, but a lot of those sunscreens probably weren't doing a great job against UVA rays. So you've got a broad spectrum, and then you've got the PA system. We've got on this one PA+++. That refers to the UVA rays. So it's very interesting. So now we're kind of now we're learning more about the UVA rays and how damaging they are. So do you want to pull up the Lab Muffin link on the computer quick?
Yep.
And UVA rays can be really aging. So scroll down, and there's a picture of a gentleman who is a truck driver who drove a truck every day for a living. And one side is the side of his face that faced the windows. In that window in a car doesn't filter out any of the rays at all. So you can see just how aged one side is. And then the other side of his face was the other side where there was no window. And most of you probably are familiar with Lab Muffin, she does a lot of reviews and skincare things. So it's really an interesting photo if you look at it and just think about how many years of daily rays were kind of injected through his car window without having any clue. So that is a very amazing photo, and it really tells you need to watch out for broad spectrum if you're in the U.S. or the PA ratings, because you want the highest amount of pluses. Up to 4 is excellent. So, and Bioderma has some amazing products where they're filtering out their levels of UVA rays that get in through their sunscreens are so low. It's amazing. So the Photoderm line, and I'm going to pick up some more of these now that I'm getting good at smuggling. So very interesting photo, I think. So certainly worth thinking about. So then we've got that, what SPF doesn't cover. And then basically what sunscreen is. We've got chemical, which are organic filters, which absorb the rays. And then mineral inorganic filters, which are referred to as physical blockers, which block and reflect and scatter the rays. So the chemical ones absorb it, and the mineral or inorganic ones block it and send it out. And so those are the main types of rays, UVB and UVA. And then this little chart shows you what levels they go to. So UVB comes out, and it kind of basically stops here. UVA rays can go all the way through, which is the water or even the sea level. It can go all the way through, which is why some of those algae that they're finding in lakes and streams and things are really effective at helping protect your skin from sun damage. And then UVC rays, they stop at the stratosphere level. So, and our ozone kind of blocks them out. So this one's interesting because it kind of shows you why those algae are so great at functioning out the skin protection, or helping you with your skin protection. So I love this little chart. So there we go. That one I thought was very helpful. Okay, so UVA rays, long wavelength, they can damage our skin's DNA, which leads to signs of aging and wrinkles. UVA is also responsible for hyperpigmentation. It can penetrate and affect the deeper layers of our skin, and may also promote the development of skin cancers. So that's the UVA rays, which is broad spectrum, PA, all of those things. UVB rays are short wavelength, responsible for sunburn, skin aging, and can promote the development of skin cancer. It doesn't penetrate beyond the skin's superficial layers. And then the UVC, short wavelength, they're the most damaging type of UV radiation. However, they're completely filtered out by the atmosphere and don't reach the Earth's surface. And then there's one other type of light, which has kind of been discussed more so in the last few years, which is blue light, or the high energy visible light. So those are high frequency, short wavelength light in the violet blue band with wavelengths that range from 400 to 450 nanometers. It accounts for 50% of the sunlight spectrum and is only part of the light that is visible to the naked eye. The majority of our exposure to blue light is caused by the sun, but it's also emitted by devices like smartphones, tablets, television, fluorescent light bulbs, LED bulbs, and from indoor lighting. So now it's kind of being marketed a lot. I should have brought, I didn't bring down my Bare Minerals sunscreen that I have. But their whole thing with this sunscreen is it protects you from blue light. However, pretty much things with zinc oxide, titanium dioxide are pretty effective at filtering that out. And they've also done a lot of things on exposure time. So really, to get 15 minutes equivalent of just being outside in the UVA and UVB rays, you'd have to sit in front of your smartphone or computer. I think it was for 4 days, just to equivalent 15 minutes. So I think the concern about it is legitimate, but it might be a bit overhyped. And if you really do a good job protecting your skin when you're just outside, I think for the most part, the blue light thing isn't a huge concern. Although it's something worth thinking about, it's just not a huge deal the way they're marketing it. I think it's just being used mostly as a marketing tool. But certainly something you might as well be concerned about if you're concerned about skincare. So, anyway, There we go with that. I just saw a bug. Oh, it's like an ant. Can you kill it? It's right here. I don't know what it is. It's gross. I hate bugs. Especially when they crawl by me. Anyway, you know what I always assume when it's a small bug now, if I don't kill it, it'll be gigantic and it'll come and eat me in like a week. So, anyway, sorry for that distraction. I couldn't just not notice that, so. Anyway, okay. Oh, you guys enjoyed suns. Oh, we've got Malaysia, Hawaii. Aloha. Let's see. Okay. Sorry about that. I just totally went totally AWOL, didn't I? Okay. I saw it call the corner of my eye and it was like, that thing's going to end up being like gigantic and it's going to eat Ike or something, so.
Oh, I was laughing at you speaking Hawaiian.
Oh, aloha. Somebody said, they said aloha. I said aloha.
Oh.
That's all I know from Hawaiian. But I have been there. They have good pineapples. So, okay. Let's see. Oh, did the driver wear sunscreen? I'm guessing not. Because if they would have at least had a broad spectrum sunscreen, I have a feeling there wouldn't be that dramatic of a difference on the two sides. So, yeah. That picture's very interesting. So, yeah, so that's one thing to remember. Like, I would remember, like, I had this old truck when I was young, and no matter what, my one arm would always get super burnt, and the other side would be pale whenever I drive it. Although now my car doesn't have very big windows, so I don't know.
It's a convertible.
Well, I don't ever take the top down. Well, maybe I do once. Anytime I take the top of the convertible down, it was my mom's old car, my hair gets all messy, and I just don't like it. I don't know. And then I get hot, and then I do feel like I'm getting more rays, so I don't hardly ever use it. I only use it on rainy days. Oh, Russia, Vancouver, wow. Philippines, wow. Let's see. You know what? The Pew Matic Sun Cream, I just saw that the other day, and I think I have to pick it up. I just looked at that on Yes Style, and I don't think I have it yet. So I have to pick it up, but I really like their, what is their blue one?
Israel.
Israel, wow. That is amazing. I'm so impressed you guys can all understand me, actually. I think that's impressive on its own. Where's the blue bottle of this? It's somewhere. Well, whatever. Oh, here we go. I found it. So I got a chance to review the orange one, but not the blue one. And the blue one is much less scented than the orange version. I have to say that. So out of these two, I'd prefer this one. I wish I had a chance to review it, but I'll have to get to it. I'll have to just filter these in because out of all these sunscreens, I've probably only reviewed 60% of them. So I've got to get to the rest at some point. So, but this one, what is this called? Their Pure Block Aqua Sun Gel. This one is my favorite as opposed to two. I wish I would have just reviewed this one instead. I didn't realize I was going to do both of them, but then Sunscreen Week would end up being like 5 years long. And at some point, you know what? My skin is happy for Sunscreen Week to be over, though, because so I tested these all out, a lot of them throughout the winter and last fall. And then before I wrote the reviews, I would try it on again. So then every day I was writing a review. I was trying a different sunscreen every single day, and my skin was just getting so upset with the continual change of sunscreen because there's just such a high, they're all over the place with ingredients. Some of them have good ingredients, some of them don't, some of them have a lot of alcohol. My skin is happy to get back to a little bit of continuity. I never give it too much continuity, but a little bit is going to make my skin very happy, I think. The other ones I really wish I would have had a chance to is the Dr. Jart ones, especially since Sephora is starting to sell some of these. The Dr. Jart ones, in my opinion, are some of the worst. They apply horribly. They have a horrible white cast. They all have a lot of fragrance in them. And in my opinion, the actual protection you get from them isn't that impressive. I don't know. Here's the Cicapair one. I mean, look at, can you guys see that? It's horrible. I mean, it's like major white cast. And the more and more, and it's super scented. Can you smell it? I bet you can. Just from there.
Not from there.
Oh, you can't. Yes, you can. Just say you can. It's very scented. Anyway, the white cast is ridiculous. So that's the Cicapair one. The Every Sunday one, I think Sephora just got this one. I was also not super impressed with. This one also has a lot of scent in it. Although this one didn't have nearly as much of the white cast, but the Cicapair one is just brutal. I don't know. So I'll have to sprinkle these ones in too, because these ones are just so unimpressive. And they were probably, out of all the K-Beauty sunscreens, probably the two most expensive out of all of them. So that was unimpressive, very disappointing, and upsetting, actually, to be honest. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I don't know. Okay, Anessa is a superstar. This is the Anessa one I have, but they've got several different colors, and I really do like this one, and I'm going to have to pick up a couple of the other versions and then review them all, because this one's pretty, they're pricey, but they're pretty good. And you know what, to be honest, I'd rather them lower the cost and do a tinier bottle than charge more and do a giant bottle. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Because this is a giant bottle, and this one I don't like very much. It's kind of greasy, so I don't know. So I'll have to get to those ones too. So the Etude House, you know what? That's the other one that's been on my list forever. And I got to order that one. I'm going to put a big Yes style order in because I've got another discount. So I've got that on my list. I've got a couple other ones from Biore. I've got the other one from the Pew brand. And there's a couple more. But I'll have to get to that one. This one I finally just got. The TM, my Vita Red sunscreen. And I've only gotten to use this one a couple times. And I was pretty happy with it. Just using it a few times now. And this one really works nicely. It does have a bit of fragrance in it, but it does dissipate pretty quickly. And once you smooth it in, it really has no white cast once you smooth it in. And it sets to a really nice matte finish. So I really like that one as well. Especially for K-Beauty. I think I got this one for like $9 when it first came out, when it was on sale. So I was pretty happy with that one. The K-Beauty sunscreen, some of them are just amazing. Where's the other ones? Oh, here we go with Purito. I'm going to have to do my top 10 list soon because Purito is going to certainly make the top 10 chemical and top 10 mineral with their water comfy and their Centella unscented. There's the Centella scented, avoid it if you can. The unscented version is just so much better. And the unscented version contains more of the good stuff, the skin soothing Centella ingredients. So these will certainly be on my top 10 list for sure. Absolutely worth checking out. If you want a good mineral one, the water comfy is great. A good chemical one, the unscented one's absolutely wonderful. So let's see. So yeah, so now my cart at Yes Style is full of sunscreens. And I'll probably take them like 2 months to get here, but it's interesting though. I put an order in at Jolcy, which is another K-Beauty site. I put an order in there and an order in at Sephora on the same day. And the Jolcy products made it a week before Sephora from South Korea. And Sephora is just shipping it, I think, from Illinois, which is a couple hundred miles. That was insane. So I think shipping just... Sephora must be overwhelmed. I don't know. Since they're all their stores are shut down, I think they just must be overwhelmed with everything going on right now. So it's a crazy time. It's a perfect time to try a lot of sunscreens. And you know what? I will say there was... which one was it? Hang on one second. I have to think for 1 second. This was it. This one I wanted to review. And this one I finally tried a second time. And to be honest, I have not been going anywhere. But this one looks so bad. I couldn't just sit around at home and not see anybody wearing this. That means it's pretty bad. When you're not going anywhere, you're not going to see anyone. But just looking at myself in the mirror with how thick and goopy this one was, I had to redo it. I had to rinse it off. So I'll have to get to my review with this one again. But that's bad when it looks that bad that you don't even want to wear it at home alone. That's a statement, I will say. So I don't know. Germany. Wow. Guten Tag. You know what? I did take German for like a week when I was in 5th grade. And my German name was Heidi. And what I could say is Ich dies Heidi, which is supposed to be my name is Heidi. Ich dies Heidi. That's the only thing I remember from it. And then from French, Je m'appelle Sarah. My name is Sarah. That's it. That's it. That's my... I need to get better at languages, so... Let's see. Oh! Okay, here we go. How do you pronounce that? It's Jigott, whitening UV from Yes Style. I'm excited. I'm going to get a lot of fun ones to try now. Let's see. Oh, thank you. You love my reviews. Yes. Yeah, I got to try the other Clarins one. I had one Clarins sunscreen, but it wasn't the right one. They came out with a newer one. Clarins is... You just never know. Some of their makeup is great, but most of their skincare products are not the best. But some of their eyeshadows and lipsticks and things are amazing, so I really like that. Okay. The Inessa SPF 50 Mild Milk. Which one is this one? This is the Mild Milk, right? Let's see. I got a note from cameraman. Read out loud. I will. I got to do that. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I'm so bad at... Oh, there we go. I finally figure out how to scroll. Okay. Oh, I'm looking fancy. Look at even my earrings match. And you know what the other thing is? I'm getting weird about this, but whatever shoes I wear, can you see them? They have to match my shirt. It's a weird thing I'm getting with tennis shoes. I used to really get into like fancy like shoes, but now it's all about the tennis shoes. They all have to be Brooks brand and they have to match whatever shirt I'm wearing. So now I've got like probably 15 pairs. And I'm getting limited in my wardrobe, but now I've got orange covered, so now I can wear orange shirts because they match my shoes. Anyway, it's a weird thing. I don't know.
You can't wear orange again. You look like a tomato.
Do I look like a tomato?
You look super red.
I think I am. You know what? I'm a little warm because it's hot in our house. But yeah, I think the orange does make me look a little more red. I'm always kind of red anyway, but anyway. So, sorry I'm red. I'm always kind of red. Let's see. What are my top 5 sunscreens? That is a difficult task.
That's a whole video.
That is a whole... That's like 10 videos. I mean, you guys probably can't see it, but I probably have... How many sunscreens would you say I have on this table right here?
Me?
Yeah, what would you think?
50, 100?
I'd say probably 100. Yeah, it's crazy. I'll do my top 5. I'll do a separate video on it maybe tomorrow. I'll do my top... Maybe my top 10 mineral, my top 10 chemical. I'll do that tomorrow along with my empties. How about that? Does that sound good? Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Let's see. Mineral sunscreen with no white cast. Mineral sunscreen with no white cast. I'm going to say... Copper tone. The new First Aid Beauty one with their... It's called the Weightless Liquid Mineral Sunscreen. This one's great. No white cast. I'm wearing it today underneath my foundation. This one's great. And it has no white cast, but it's got a tint to it. But the tint for this one kind of really soaks in nicely. So that has no white cast. It's really nice. I like this one. The other one, right off the bat, I would... Oh, that one's not fully mineral, though, is it? Let me... trying to remember if this one is... I'm trying to remember if this one is mineral or chemical now. It's the CosRX Aloe Soothing Sun Cream. I can't remember if that one's mineral or chemical. But another one I like, the Peter Thomas Roth Max Mineral Naked SPF. This one also has a nice tint. And this one just finally expired on me a few days ago. But it does have a tint, but no white cast. The other one I would say is the Biossance new one. The new Biossance sunscreen. This one, what do they call it? The Squalane and Zinc Sheer Mineral Sunscreen. This one has no white cast either. Where have I not applied something? I'm onto my arms now.
They can't see that very good without the other cameras. But...
That one's pretty good. Those are my top 3, I would say. Certainly worth checking out, as opposed to their old one. And the Josie Maran one is pretty tinted, which is nice. But it's very hydrating, so it's almost too much, in my opinion, for most skin that's not super dry. So that one, those are probably my top 3. They'll certainly be in my video tomorrow, my top favorites. So okay, I gotta start over now, so I have a new paper canvas for my next try on. There we go. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to catch up. Oh, London, Pennsylvania. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I bought the Purita Water Comfy from your review. It's been great. That is an awesome one. If you haven't tried it, that one's a great one with no white cast for a mineral one. Certainly worth checking out. So, let's see. Okay. Can you give a top mineral? Yep, I'll do a top mineral sunscreen and then a top chemical or sunscreen list tomorrow. So, yes, the Blue NS is SPF 35. This one, I like that one. I'm going to pick up the other ones though. So, let's see. Sarah, go crazy. Don't match shorts and shoes. It's a weird thing with my tennis shoes. It's just evolving recently. So, okay. So let me go back to this a little bit. So another topic that a few people wanted to discuss was coral reef safety sunscreens. And some of those I've printed out in color. So this one discusses sunscreen that you're using if you're swimming, diving, or snorkeling, especially in the ocean, like in Hawaii, for example. Studies have shown that some chemical compounds in sunscreen, including oxybenzone and oxynate, may harm coral reefs, even in small doses. So it's important to prevent wearing those if you're snorkeling or somewhere in the ocean, or like Hawaii where they have a lot of fun snorkeling areas. So picking up reef-safe sunscreens is very important. There's some studies that have cited it that show that might not be so true, but a lot of studies are showing that it is true. So there's always a give and a take. There's some people that don't necessarily believe that's true, and there's some people, a lot of studies that are showing that it can bleach the coral, kill it actually, and interfere with them. So using reef-safe sunscreens is a very important one. I think typically zinc and titanium dioxide are safe, but a lot of the chemical ones, especially if you apply them immediately before you go in the ocean, you got to apply them 30 minutes before you go up, because it can't, especially with the chemical ones, it can't soak in. It can't work until it's been on your skin 15, 20, 30 minutes. Especially with water-resistant ones, you really want to give it some time before you go out. I've got friends, when we take my dad's little boat out, I'll have to show you a video of the dock. There's all these massive boats, and then you get to the little one, and that's my dad's, but whatever. They always put their sunscreen on once they're already on the boat. It just drives me crazy. It's like, put it on at home before you go out, because now you're going to be outside for 20 to 30 minutes, and you're not going to be covered, especially if it's a chemical one. It needs to soak in, and it needs to interact with your skin to really start working. So that's important. If you're going to go swimming, put it on well ahead of time, because otherwise it's going to get rinsed off, you're going to get burned, and it can just harm the environment. So something to think about. So oxybenzone oxynate. So, okay. Let's see. Another one is some of the chemical sunscreens have been shown to end up as hormone disruptors in the body. So some people prefer mineral because of that, instead of the chemical ones, which are sometimes more elegant and look better sometimes. So it's something to think about. Some of them, which one was it? I think it was avobenzone, shows up in like breast milk. So if you've used it at all, it'll show up in breast milk and even like urine and things like that. So it's something to be aware of, especially if you have any family cancer history. It's just something to look at and research. Some of the studies on that, in my opinion, were kind of off a bit, because they used the concentrations in the studies. The concentration of the sunscreen was super high in some of them. And some of them, it would never be something that you would actually use. It's like you'd never use avobenzone 100% on your body. So it's something to think about. But there are some studies that are showing it's something to be concerned about. So something to research. I'm not going to make an opinion on it for anybody. A lot of people already either have their preference, mineral or chemical, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's nice to have options in both ways. So something to think about. So let's see. Clinique Mineral Face Fluid does not have a white cast. Is that... Let me find it. This one? This one's pretty similar. This is their Pep Start UV Face Fluid. I think it's pretty similar to their other version, too. But this one's really cheap, so... Let's see. I have not tried any of the brand Dermatology sunscreens, but I've got the tab open on my computer to pick up some of them and give them a try. There's so many out there I want to try. It's amazing. So, where's the other one I love? Hang on, I'll find it. Oh, the Elta MD UV Clear. This is a great one. Especially for acne-prone skin. I really like this one as a good option. And what was the other one? I can't find it. I'll find it. It's somewhere. Oh, here we go. The Crave Beach Shield. This is a great one, too. I love this one. This will be in the top list. And finally, the Can Make one. I finally got this, but it came too close to the end of sunscreen week, so this one I'll have to review probably at the end of May. But I'm loving this one. No fragrance. The tube's kind of tiny. It says for face and body, but the tube's a little small, but I do love it. So, something worth checking out as well. So, okay. Let's see. Somebody said discipline me? I don't know. Discipline her. This is her channel.
You gotta go up higher.
I know. Well, I'm okay. Somebody can yell at me, right? Is that what they want to do? Discipline me?
No, they said to stay on topic and quit reading comments.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. It's kind of the interactive part of it. I can stay on topic. Because my next topic is something...
You missed the person from South Africa.
Oh, South Africa.
It's up, I don't know where now.
Oh, Ann says hi. Nearly missed out on this live stream. Didn't get a notification. YouTube's so glitchy. I'm not even going to go there right now, but it's kind of messy. They're like, some people will be subscribed and then the next day they won't. The other thing is the filtered comments thing. They're out of control with that. They're throwing so many comments in the filters and then I don't see it right away and then I don't respond to it. So YouTube is glitchy, but okay. Let's see. I love Paula's Choice. I'm using their retinol, but it made my face red and peeling. How many times should I use it in a week? Retinol start off very slow. Very slow. Use it maybe once, skip 3 nights, and use it again. Skip 3 more nights, and then go to every other night and really work up. But spend at least 2 months to build up or longer. Let your face talk to you. Don't use it 2 nights in a row if you're new to it. Especially the Paula's Choice one. That's a stronger one. So start out very, very slow. Use it maybe 2 times a week and then work up to it. But give yourself a couple months to work up to it and use a good moisturizer. That's the other key. So let's see. Oh, Anthony, I accidentally bought the Purito Scented SPF. Oh, that's a bummer. I would re-gift it and then pick up the new one when it's on sale somewhere. Although I've noticed a lot of the sunscreens have been out of stock randomly, so that's another problem. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm like...
You're going the wrong direction now.
Hmm?
I think you're going up instead of down.
I think I'm going down.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Can I wash off chemical sunscreens with water, or do I have to use a cleanser? I would highly recommend a cleanser, because a lot of the chemical sunscreens, especially ones that are water resistant, are really meant to bind with your skin. Especially ones like the Biore ones, where they've got that polyvinyl alcohol in there, which creates kind of a plastic film. Using a cleanser will just make sure you remove it all. And if you don't, get it all off. It'll cause breakouts. Your skin will get red. It just won't be as happy. So I'd recommend a good cleanser to remove any sunscreen. And if it's a water-resistant sunscreen, even sometimes like an oil-based cleanser will really make sure you remove it all. You don't want to go to bed with any sunscreen on. Which is always why I'm surprised that the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream has all these sunscreen ingredients, but in the US it's not really marketed that it has any SPF, so people I think are using it at night and not even knowing that it has all this SPF in it. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's good to know your ingredients, especially using a moisturizer with sunscreen filters in it at night. It's just not going to make your skin very happy. Although you won't get burnt during the night from your, I don't know. Anyway, okay. Let's see. What about sunscreens containing retinol? I'm trying to think if I have any of them here. Because retinol can be a good antioxidant. Personally, I won't go out of my way to use a sunscreen that contains retinol just because retinol can make your skin more sensitive. But it is also a good antioxidant. But I just don't think I'd go out of my way to find one that has retinol in it. And hopefully if it does, it's a small amount because retinol can make your skin more sensitive to other things. I don't necessarily think any of these sunscreens that I have, I knowingly contain retinol. So, unless some of the, Paula's Choice seems to use retinol in almost everything. But I don't see retinol in here. So, I'm all about vitamin C and good antioxidants. And retinol is a good antioxidant, but in a sunscreen, I think I would probably avoid it. Unless it's a great sunscreen, which really doesn't dry out your skin or anything. So, have I ever tried the Neutrogena SPF 110? I have not. I've not tried that one. Although I do have a couple of the Neutrogena spray body ones, but I don't really think I've tried a ton of their face sunscreens yet. But I'll have to check them out, because some people really like them. Although I have to think the 110 has a heck of a white cast, I have to think. But sometimes, even a white cast, you know what? A white cast for one day is better than wrinkles for the rest of your life, I guess. That should be my motto. I should get a shirt that says that. I'm wearing sunscreen today, that's why I look pale, but tomorrow I won't have any wrinkles. Something like that, I don't know. Anyway, okay. Let's see. Out of topic, because of the thing, my friend washes her face with 70% alcohol. Oh! I mean, she's probably...
That'll kill a virus.
Yeah, that will kill the thing. But what does her face look like? I can't even fathom it. Oh, just thinking about it just is like nails on a chalkboard. I can't even imagine that. Yeah, you know what? A lot of alcohol can be damaging. Although, in my opinion, you're still better off if you only have one sunscreen you like, and it's one of the Biore ones that has a lot of alcohol. You're still better off using it than no sunscreen, but I really think using a good moisturizer under it or a good serum will help buffer some of the alcohol. But in the long run, washing your face with 70% alcohol is... Whew.
Purell.
Yeah, that would be like using Purell on your face. I can't fathom. My hands get so dry Purelling all day, so I can't imagine. Unless maybe your skin will like backfire and she'll get really oily skin. You never know. So, anyway. Crazy. Oh. People are doing crazy things right now. And I just... It's interesting because the last time I did a live stream, I thought by the next time I did a live stream, things would kind of start to go back to normal. But it just hasn't happened yet, and I'm not sure when it will. But I guess all you can do is wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't wash your face in isopropyl alcohol, though. Don't do it. It's never a good idea. It's so drying. I mean, I think it really can damage your skin. I mean, and things can be fixed and, you know, but just not a good idea, I don't think. So, I think skin is the least of her concerns. Yeah, she's probably a little freaked out. Okay, are the Paula's Choice sunscreens good? Paula's Choice has a lot of them, and to be honest, I find them to be rather hit and miss. But there's some good, like this one, it's actually technically a moisturizer with SPF, which is a chemical based. This one I find nice. and the fact that I can use a foundation over it as well. But a lot of the sunscreens tend to be kind of mineral and kind of have a white cast or tend to be kind of thick. But out of all of them, I think probably the two I'd recommend out of all of them would be this one, which is the Smooth Light Daily Wrinkle Defense, which I reviewed, and then this one. And the other ones tend to have a bit of a white cast. Like these guys, these are pretty high in titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. They're not my favorite, but there are a couple that I like, which are the two in the blue bottles, actually, ironically. The two next, these two. I'd recommend these two because they are more elegant. These two are just, they're not my favorite. And I never reach for them, even though I own them. I never find myself reaching for them. I'm always reaching for one of the other ones. So, yeah, I'm wondering if Paula's Choice has different options in different countries or not. I'm guessing so. But anyway, so the Resist Skin Restoring Moisturizer is pretty good. Although probably not super great on UVA protection. But both of these are probably pretty good for UVB rays, but probably just okay for UVA rays because they're made in the U.S. And the U.S., unfortunately, is... I don't think in my lifetime the FDA in the U.S. is going to approve new sunscreen filters. They haven't approved any for so long. 5 years ago, Congress had the New Sunscreen Filters Act, which kind of mandated the FDA to start approving more filters. And in 5 years, nothing has happened. And actually, that was my next thing on my list, was that. I don't think in my lifetime anything is going to happen. I think this thing now is kind of the only thing all these governmental agencies are really thinking about or working on. I think sunscreens have been on the back burner for so long, and I just don't think this FDA cares. I'm not sure why, but for some reason, they just don't want anything to do with it. I don't know if there's one person in the FDA that can block it. I should do some research, but if an act of Congress can't make them do anything with new filters, nothing's going to happen. And I don't know why. It's bizarre. There's got to be maybe someone at the FDA owns like the zinc oxide supply to the U.S. or something. It wouldn't surprise me. Or maybe there's something weird there, and I don't know what it is, but I don't think in my lifetime anything will ever change. And it's unfortunate that I have to smuggle things in from different countries, but I've gotten really good at it. I mean, look at this. A year ago, I'd have never known how to get Eucerin or SVR, or what else have I smuggled in. Now I've got friends in Australia sending me ones. I mean, I'm getting good at smuggling, so I've got that going for me, but it's just really annoying, though, that all these other countries are light years ahead of us, but nothing's ever going to happen, and we're going to have to keep smuggling. Unless we want to use terrible ones like Dr. Jart. I mean, if you want a really good one with high UVA protection, you got to smuggle it in. I mean, it's ridiculous, but hopefully I don't go to jail over it. I would not last long in jail, I will tell you that. Especially with the food. I think I need lots of good food, so... The other thing I want to talk about is all the different types of sunscreens. Because now, I remember years ago, we didn't have powder options like we've got now. And for reapplying sunscreen, I love these. I would never solely rely on a powder sunscreen, just as my main source of sunscreen. Oh, banana boat. Broad spectrum. What does it have? Avobenzone, homosalate, and octocrylene. That's it. I don't think I ever used that. But what'd you buy that for?
I bought that for myself.
Oh, okay. Well, you've got all these other good options, though. You don't want any of my good options?
I don't know.
So anyway, so the brush-on sunscreens have kind of become popular, and I do like these in the fact that they make reapplication really easy because you don't have to slop stuff all over your face again. But I just wouldn't use these as my sole source of sunscreen just because I have a feeling some of it might blow off. I don't know. But for reapplication, it's really nice. And especially if you're like outdoors, you're getting kind of sweaty. These are really nice for reapplication. So the powder things are kind of fun. Then you've got sprays. This was something else I wanted to get to review, but I'll have to do it later. But this is a setting spray, which has sunscreen in it, which I'm a little bit concerned about, because if you're spraying this on and you inhale a lot of it, some of these chemicals in your lungs can cause issues. So if you're using something like this, or where's my Kula setting spray? They have something too, whatever. It's somewhere. But a spray can be a little bit iffy, so just be sure if you spray it to not inhale anything, or use it outside, but make sure you're getting enough of it on your face. So a spray, that's another good way to reapply it, because reapplication is important, especially if you're outside at least every 2 hours, or anytime you go in and out of the water, reapplication. So a spray like this makes it really easy to reapply it to your face, or the powder, or the Kula. Here we go. The Kula setting spray, they just came out with a new one though. So this one isn't my favorite. So that's a nice, easy way to reapply it. That, or the powders, or even now there's the hair sunscreen, or it's for your scalp, like your part. So there's lots of good ways to do it, and there's lots of different things. And oils now, I have a couple of oils. The Selfie Shield is really hydrating. It's a nice oil. Tony Moly brand also makes a really nice oil with SPF in it as well. So if you have very dry skin, that's also nice to use. But you can get almost any different, I mean, this is another setting spray, which I wasn't super happy with, the Amore Pacific one. SPF 30, but this one I just found to be too scented. A lot of the sprays have a lot of alcohol in them too, so it's important to kind of do your research about those as well. So oils, moisturizers, sprays. Moisturizers with SPF, I think they're regulated the exact same way as a sunscreen. They have to say if it's broad spectrum or not. They have to give you the SPF. So I'm not exactly sure what the technical difference is between a moisturizer with SPF and a sunscreen. I think they're regulated the exact same way, at least in the US, from what I know. So anyway, that's interesting kind of to research as well. So, okay, let's see. Let me start looking at comments. I always get behind. I'm sorry.
Go up to the one above Portugal, Daniel M.
Ooh. I'm trying.
Does anyone know a good site / store to buy these Korean sunscreens?
Oh, okay.
Read the question out loud though.
I'm trying to find.
Oh.
Okay, does anyone know a good site store to buy these Korean sunscreens in Europe? I'm really interested in trying the Purito one, but the shipping fees from YesStyle are too pricey from Portugal. There's Style Korean is another site. Excuse me. Jolsey.com is another site. Stylevana is another good site. But I just don't know if they charge any shipping fees.
Ask if there's anyone in Europe that knows.
Is there anyone from Europe that knows? Where do you guys buy it from Europe? Yes, Stylevana, Rose Shop. There's so many of them, so it might be good to kind of compare them to one another, or even go to Purito's site. But anyone in Europe, if you guys know where you guys buy it from, leave a comment to help them out. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, guys. Shiseido has a good perfect cleansing oil. I love that one. That's probably my favorite Shiseido product, is their cleansing oil. That one's good. Catalay also has a good oil cleanser. Yes. Let's see. Okay. So you got that. Which mineral sunscreen do you recommend that does not have toxic ingredients that are harmful to the skin and has antioxidants? Let's see. Well, I do like the First Aid Beauty weightless mineral one. The Water Comfy from Purito doesn't have a ton of antioxidants per se, but it's got a lot of good skin soothing ingredients and beneficial ingredients. What else for mineral would I say? Hang on. I'm thinking. This is another one I love. The Peter Thomas Roth Max Mineral. I think you guys are probably getting the idea of what I'm going to do for my top 5. And the Australian Gold. This one's a great one. And it's got some additional really good beneficial ingredients which really help with UVA rays. So these 4 would probably be 4 of my favorites. And this one I haven't even talked about yet, which I love. The Claire's Soft Air UV Essence. I love this one. This one is great. This one, it's going to be tough for first place for my chemical list because this one I love, and the Purito one I love too. I love these equally, and I don't know how I'd pick one, but I guess I will. It's going to be difficult though, but I love this one. It does have fragrance in it that it almost doesn't smell like much. It just has like a very light, like a plastic scent almost. I didn't have that on my first bottle, but my second bottle did. So, I don't know. This one's a chemical though, so don't get it twisted. Okay, application amount of sunscreen. So typically they say what goes around the most is 1/4 of a teaspoon for your face. But the proper amount is 2 milligrams per square centimeter of your face. And I don't know how many centimeters the average face is. My face is probably smaller. Maybe it's bigger. That's why I get to use so many products up every month. But usually that equivocates into about 1/4 of a teaspoon. If you have a bigger face and if you're using your neck, it's going to be much more. So keep that in mind. Because all of these SPFs, they are rated on 2 milligrams per centimeter. If you're applying it less, you're not getting the same coverage as what these are actually measured as. What are you laughing about now? Okay. Let's see.
Just random.
Random, okay. PC Super Light Wrinkle Defense is my go-to. My friend traveled to Taiwan and bought Paula's Choice sunscreens, and they had... Really? They had better new generation filters? I'm going to have to go to Paula's Choice Taiwan and check those out. Wow. You know what? The U.S. we really get kind of screwed. Test that's so true. PC UVA is poop. That's what I've heard as well. So... You know what though? If you layer it, I'm all about layering it. So use a moisturizer with SPF, use a foundation with SPF, use a setting powder with SPF, use a setting spray with SPF. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, they've got really good layers. But just be careful how you layer them too. Because if they haven't set or dried down and you're going to layer them, then you're actually going to be lessening the effectiveness. So, let's see. I like to mix it with the Neostrata Sheer Protection SPF 50. Oh, okay. I have to check that out too. I low-key focus on UVA more than UVB because it's more insidious, and UVB has benefits like vitamin D. You know, it's a very good point. UVA is very, especially if you're in the US and all you get is broad spectrum, you have no idea if you're getting like low coverage for UVA or if you're getting great coverage. You have no idea. It could be anything. You just don't have any clue. So that's a very good point. Let's see. Oh no, I screwed up. I'm so bad at this computer. Octocrylene is scary. You know what? They're getting more and more complaints from people with allergies to it. So octocrylene, if you use a chemical sunscreen and you have an issue with it and then think it's all chemical sunscreens, it could just be one of the filters. Like octocrylene is a common irritant for a lot of people. So, let's see. Oh, I really like Eve Lom products. I've tried, though. They have a high amount of essential oils, if that bothers you. I have to check out more from that brand, Eve Lom. I haven't tried any other sunscreens. I've tried the cleansing balm and the mask, and I like both of those. So, let's see. Let's see. I've heard the Purito Centella Unscented doesn't have enough UV protection. Anyone know if this is true? Well, Purito, on their homepage, they publish all the studies they've done on their sunscreens. So that's something worth checking out. But when I checked it out, it looked decent. And they have the PA with 4 pluses. So that means it's decent, but pretty good. But I like that. You know what? There's only a couple of them that I saw that posted all of their studies that they did. One was Purito and the other one was Australian Gold. They published all the studies they did, all the tests. I'm sure maybe some of these other brands have too, but these were the two I noticed that they published all their studies. So that's something worth considering, checking out. I always like when they're very transparent, because a lot of brands aren't transparent. So let's see. Do you remember that sunscreen stick you used during the Walmart challenge? Yes. You know what? Somebody just asked me about that a couple days ago. It was the Physicians Formula Vitamin C SPF 30 sunscreen stick. So I should do that because I've been asked about it a couple times now. So that was interesting. It was that was a challenge. The Walmart challenge. That really was a challenge. A good challenge would be if I could go like a week without doing any skincare. That would be a challenge. So let's see. Juvenile A Plus Tinsorb S in addition with Juvenile T150 or Tinsorb M. Those are some great filters. And L'Oreal has done some amazing patents on some of these filters too. Thoughts on the Shiseido Shiseido does have some great sunscreens. Why haven't I reviewed any of those? Why are you laughing?
Just keep going in the comments.
Okay. Okay. Ever try Bioderma Hydro Bio Moisturizer Anti-UV Mist? I haven't. I'm going to have to check that one out. Especially in the winter. It's super hydrating. An SPF 30 UVA PA. Wow. I'm going to have to check that one out too. I like it. Let's see. Octocrylene is manslaughter. I never use sunscreen with octocrylene. It irritates my skin always. Do you like cheeseburgers? Do you like hot dogs? What about egg salad? I do. I love all of those. Let's see. From eBay. Third-party freight forwarders. Yes.
Oh, that was probably the answer to the Portugal guy.
The hot dogs?
No, the eBay.
Oh,
You
third-party
where
freight.
to get it
Okay.
shipped to Portugal.
There we go. Third-party freight forwarders. There we go. Let's see. The Crave Beach Shield. I have oily skin and the alcohol doesn't bother me. I was actually surprised with this one when I went and did the review to see alcohol in there. I was surprised because I didn't find it drying at all. That surprised me, which is why it's nice to try it first and then look at the ingredients next. Because I find for me, I can do a better review that way. Otherwise, I'm looking for the bad stuff because I know it's in there. So I'd buy Claire's from Wish Trend. Okay, I love Wish Trend. They send it for free to Europe with DHL if you buy it for more than $50 US. Oh, Claire's UV Essence and Period are basically the same. That's probably why I love them both then. Cameraman, you can have up to 4 wives in the Middle East. Are you packing your bags? Well, you know, you probably couldn't get on a plane now. I'm going to have to handcuff you to the editing desk now. Oh, someone mentioned HelioCare. What did I do with it? What did I do with it? Okay, that was another thing I want to talk about. This is not the HelioCare sunscreen, but it's the HelioCare supplement. And I bought this, when does the expiration date on it? The expiration date on this is July 7th, 2017. So I bought this about 4 years ago. And I just heard someone talk about it, mention it on the radio. And I was interested to try it, and I took these, and I noticed I didn't get burned, but I wasn't too sure about it. I'll say that, because I'm very skeptical of supplements in general, because there's so many of them, so many people try and sell them. But recently I noticed they had their sunscreen line, which made me think the Helioplex, right? HelioCare sunscreen, yes. So I did some research on their sunscreen. I was going to pick up some, and I thought I should just do some research on the technology behind this on PubMed. And what I found was that this fern block that they use actually has been shown to be very effective. I'm not selling this supplement here, but that really impressed me to find out that there's actually a lot of good science behind this. So I'm going to certainly review their sunscreens, and I'm going to pick up another bottle of this and give it another try this spring and see what I think about it. But there's several studies on PubMed that looked very promising that this fern block could be like the next best thing. So I'll certainly be reviewing that one soon. So, and there's sunscreens as well. So anyway, okay. So anyway, so there we go. Let's see. Maybe we should send my dad to the Middle East, actually. I think they'd be more happy with my dad than you. Sorry.
Oh, ouch.
No, I'm not. You know what I mean. Anyway. My dad has a bit more money than Joe. Just a little bit, not much. Okay. Oh, Canada. Oh, you guys are funny. Cameraman, I know what you're laughing at. Let's see. Yes, everyone's wanting me to review that Physician Formula Sunstick. I'll do that. I suffered through that one, so. Let's see. Copper Tone Pure and Simple. I haven't heard of that one, but I'll certainly try that. Huh. Wow. Fern block is a real thing. Yeah, it's amazing. It's pretty impressive. So, yeah, I'm super sketchy on supplements because, you know what, if you walk, I mean, how many aisles in each store, like Target or Walmart, is just supplements and vitamins? Probably three just aisles of just vitamins and all that stuff. And I generally think...
Who's been to a store?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been to a store. But I generally think if you take a multivitamin, in general, you're good. But this especially, I think when I went to Australia, that's when I brought these with. And I don't know. I'm still alive, so. Okay, what else do we have here? I think I've only gotten through one page. Man, I could talk a lot, can't I? Let's see. Okay, reapplication. I kind of covered that a bit. Best practice with reapplication is if you're outside every 2 hours or every time you get in and out of the water. If you're just inside your house all day long, in general, I don't reapply it if I'm just in my house all day. I mean, although you're still looking at UVA rays through the windows, even if you're sitting by a window, I'm not the best with reapplication. Although when I'm outside, I'm very liberal. I reapply it every 2 hours. But if I'm just inside, I generally just go with it for the day. But maybe if you're driving around all day, it might be worth reapplying it. Especially after seeing that person with their face. I mean, that was... Do you want to put that back up again?
Yeah.
I'm just obsessed with this photo.
Hang on.
Okay.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Okay.
My internet on my laptop just went down.
Our internet is terrible here. So anyway, if you're inside, I generally think you're probably okay not reapplying it. But if you're sitting by a window, there's nothing wrong with reapplying it more often. That's what I'm going to say. You can never go wrong with it, but yeah, that poor person. I mean, look at their one side. It's just so unsymmetrical. And I don't even know how you would undo that. What types of facelift? I don't know. I'm sure the gentleman's not going to get a facelift, but you know what? His face will live on in infamy in this live stream. So, okay, so let's see. Certain algaes. I talked about that. I talked about fern block. UV index. That's something to pay attention to. The UV index. It's the level of UV radiation and therefore the values of the index throughout the day. In reporting the UVI, the radiation index, most emphasis is placed on the maximum UV level on a given day. This occurs during the 4-hour period around solar noon, depending on geographical location and whether daylight savings time is applied. Solar noon takes place between noon and 2 p.m. The media usually present a forecast of the maximum UV level for the following day. So that's also something to pay attention to. If the UV level is like a 10, I think it's like on a scale of 10, or might be even 11. The higher it is, the more often you should reapply. And the lower it is, it might not be as big of a concern. And there's sites you can go to wherever you live, and they'll give you that certain, whatever the level is that day. But if it's especially high, it might be prudent to reapply it if you're outside especially. So anyway, UV index. Let's see. By La Roche-Posay, My Skin Track UV. It measures your exposure to UV. Is that a phone app? I'm thinking. I'm going to have to check that out. It might be a phone app. Let's see. Trinidad is always at 11. So it's a max of 11, I think, right? Is that you're always at, you must go through a lot of sunscreen there. In Minnesota, we don't have to worry about it as much. So anyway.
Where is that? Trinidad in the Caribbean?
Yeah, isn't it Trinidad and Tobago?
Okay.
Right? Is that the same one? Is that the same country?
Remember.
I think. Let's see. Can you post your articles? We can read and download it to your phone. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can definitely do that. I will post them. Where should I post them?
You can do it this one on the community tab.
Oh, okay. There we go. That's what we'll do. I'll do that.
I would do it, but I don't have access.
Yeah.
Did you do them in Google Docs?
I don't think so. Most of these aren't. You know what? I will. I'll post those tonight or tomorrow when I do my top list. So. And then this is one other. You know what? I'll post a link to this too. This one has a list. I found it to be very insightful about all the filters, their physical name, their other names, their ranges, their functions, and random comments. But you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt as well. So, yeah. Any other questions, you guys? You guys and gals? I mean, I can't believe I'm sitting here just surrounded by all my sunscreen. And I've got so many I didn't even get a chance to try. But tomorrow I will post my empties, and then I'll post my top 10 of each. And maybe a couple that are not chemical or mineral. They're a combination. Because there's several of those too. So, anyway, if you have any questions, think about them real quick.
What is that scale? 13 or 14?
Scale.
It says in the Middle East, the UV index is always 13 or 14.
I thought it went to 11, but I'm wrong. I think in Minnesota it's like 1. Or like -0. Most of the time. Well, in the summer it can get hot. But, wow. Yeah, so I will post these on a community tab. Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing all you do and sharing your knowledge. Thank you. I love it. You know what? Makeup requires like a talent and a skill. And I'm not great at that, but stuff like this I can research and I can learn it. And I'm good with that. But talent, not so much. With makeup anyway. So, can you ask cameraman to show his device on stream? I don't know.
What?
I asked him, but he just doesn't know.
Show. I don't see the comment.
Can you ask cameraman to show the device on stream? I don't know what that means.
So which device?
Which device? We're easily confused. Let's see. Oh, I could post it. Snow giraffe. Can you post on your website? Duh, we can do that too.
Yeah, just tell them we'll put it on the homepage as a new.
I'm a little slow. Sorry, guys. I was like the last thing I thought of was, where can I post it? The website. Sorry. I'm a little slow. Let's see. Oh, tinted mineral list. That's a good idea. I should do a untinted mineral list, a tinted mineral list. Okay. I've got it all going on now. I'm excited because now I'm going to organize these when I put them away.
The La Roche-Posay device. I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay.
What is that?
It's an app. It's an app. Yeah, we'll have to download it. It's the La Roche-Posay. It's like a UV measurement. I'll look into that. I don't have it, but I'm going to download it. I don't have my phone down here either, but...
Why don't you do a video about it?
Yeah, you know what? I should do a video about it. That's a good idea. It sounds exciting, so... The My Skin Track UV device by La Roche-Posay. Do I have a pen anywhere? I can't find it. Oh, here's a pen. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that. My Skin Track. There's so many fun skin apps. Okay, I got that.
Here, I think
Did you find it?
I don't know anything. Yeah.
Oh, that looks, yeah. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm excited. Huh.
$60.
Huh.
It does sync with your phone.
Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna add that. Okay.
Alright.
Anything else? Yes, a device associated with an app. It's a wearable device that measures the UV light coming in. That's really cool. I'm going to check that out.
It's like a Geiger counter when you're in Chernobyl. Or
Oh,
something.
wow. That's cool. Okay, I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to head out. I'm going to go to my dad's house now and check on the Yorkies. They're high maintenance, so... Thank you guys so much for coming. I had so much fun, and I will do my top 5s, top 10s tomorrow, and empty, so be sure to check it out, and I'll definitely be doing more sunscreen reviews. I'll be scattering them in to the rest of the reviews. So thank you guys so much, and I'll do another live stream ASAP, okay? Because I'm sure we'll have more to talk about, because there's always something going on. So thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining me.